Hi guys and welcome back to Slice and Mike. So today I am doing a review, and I know it's been a while since I've done one, but there are two main reasons for that. Number one, I just haven't read anything that thought-provoking since my last review. I really did enjoy The Bees by Laline Paul, and I would have liked to do a review about that book, but it's already been about a month since I read it, and I just pretty much forget everything that happened, so that ship has sailed. Number two, you may have noticed already that I'm pretty much only posting one video a week, and that's mostly because it's a huge time commitment to post 2 a week. I don't think I have the time. So I'm doing 1 a week, which is about 4 a month, which means I have very limited talking space, so I'll try and do maybe like one review every month if I can swing it. However, I just finished reading The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and this book it's a doozy, and my goal in today's video is to try and convince you guys to go pick this up ASAP because I really do think that you should read it soon. As usual, I will start this video with a brief synopsis of the book. If you already know what this book is about, or if you'd rather not hear what the book is about, or if you're bored just by listening to me talk, feel free to click this link-y-do right there, and you can skip ahead to my review of the actual book. So The Girl on the Train is about a woman named Rachel who lives in the suburbs outside of London, and she used to ride the train to work every day. However, she lost her job recently, and she continues to ride the train into London each morning so that her roommate will not find out that she is jobless and worry about how Rachel will end up paying the rent. So basically, Rachel spends her days riding the train aimlessly, and she also likes to look out her window at two certain houses where she used to live with her ex-husband and their neighbors who live a few houses down. Rachel has a very elaborate backstory for this couple that lives a few houses down from where she used to live. She knows nothing about them, but she has made up names, she has made up jobs, she pretends to have conversations between the two people. So clearly Homegirl has too much time and she needs to get a job or something needs to happen. Another important part of the story is that Rachel has a bit of a drinking problem. So one night Rachel is blackout drunk and she gets off the train at the station where Tom and Anna live. She's wandering the street. However, that same night, Megan, who lives a few doors down with her husband, Scott, and this is a couple that Rachel likes to watch from the train and has this whole made-up story about them. Megan goes missing, and Rachel becomes involved in this mystery, mostly because she's interested in what's going on the street, and also because she's a suspect herself, as she can't seem to remember what actually happened that night. That's pretty much the gist of the plot, so most of the book involves Rachel trying to remember what happened that night, talking to various people, piecing clues together, and just trying to figure out where Megan is and whether or not she's still alive. Many people are comparing this book to Gone Girl, and I can definitely see the similarities between the two books, although they pretty much stand on their own. The main similarities are the fact that they're both thrillers, they both involve the disappearance of a young woman, and they both have a lot to say about gender and typical roles between a husband and a wife in the family. However, I would say that The Girl on the Train is a lot less shocking than Gone Girl, and if you've read Gone Girl or seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's just a lot of very in-your-face stuff that happens, especially towards the end of that book/movie. But this book is a little more tame. So if Gone Girl was a bit too much for you to handle, I think you would definitely be better off reading this book, and I think you'd find it really enjoyable. So let's talk about the plot. I've already mentioned a bit of what happens in the book, but I think it's how it happens that is especially unique to this story. I've never read a book with a main character who has a drinking problem or is a self-proclaimed alcoholic. I think it's a really interesting plot device, and I don't know if it's okay to use an illness like that as a plot device. But here it's pretty essential to the story because if Rachel had remembered what actually happened, there wouldn't really be much of a mystery here. So as a character, Rachel can be pretty frustrating because she is an alcoholic and she, as far as it stands currently, is not able to stop herself from drinking. She makes pretty poor decisions quite often throughout the book, and oftentimes in my head I was like, Rachel, why are you doing this? Why are you going to see your ex-husband? He obviously doesn't want to see you. At the same time though, it made Rachel really relatable that she had this huge problem, her drinking problem, and she just didn't really know what to do about it, and she wasn't taking steps to try and get her life sorted out. Oftentimes in real life, that's how people act. They don't make the proper decisions, they keep contributing to their unhappiness, and I really just enjoyed reading about Rachel, even though she was a bit of a dunce at times. Besides Rachel, you have some other great characters. There's Anna, who is Tom's new wife, and the thing I liked about this book is that you get perspectives from Rachel, Megan, who's the girl who went missing, and also from Anna, who is the new wife. So you start to see the three women's stories intersect as they meet each other, as they interact with each other, as their unhappiness just grows and kind of engrosses the whole town where they live. Another reason I like this book is because it wasn't just a thriller, it also had some very relatable things it was trying to say about our society today. First off, it had a lot to say about traditional gender roles in marriage and how some people, women especially, find it very easy to fit themselves into those roles, and other women do not find that easy at all, and they become unhappy as a result of that. But this book is also about the lengths that people will go to achieve their perfect dream, and that's different for everybody, but it could be the perfect family, it could be the perfect home, or the perfect job. It's about what people will sacrifice or what people will do to other people to secure those things for themselves. Another thematic thing that I thought was really interesting about this book is that it has a lot to say about our perception of other people and how that interacts with our self-perception, and we're all trying to make ourselves look better. We all want a great job and a great house and all that stuff because it makes us look better compared to other people. But in reality, we don't actually know that much about other people, especially if we see them just from a train window. There's never any way that you can learn what's really going on in their life, but it's still funny that we are driven by that desire to be better than them, basically. Also, I haven't talked about the writing very much, but I think most thrillers have a very similar writing style. It's all about that fast pace, the minimally descriptive style, so you can keep the story going forward. So the writing here was good and it was appropriate to the genre, but I also thought that there was this subtle undercurrent of humor, and maybe I was just misreading social cues. It wouldn't be the first time, but I thought that Rachel's character was quite humorous, and especially if she did things when she was drunk and made mistakes when she was under the influence. I think sometimes that lent itself to a bit of humor in the book. So with all that being said, I ended up giving The Girl on the Train 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, although in real life I would give it 4.5 stars out of 5. I really enjoyed this one. I thought the characters were fully realized people. I liked the plot. I liked the writing. I liked the setting. I pretty much liked everything. So my recommendation is that you go pick this up ASAP. So I hope you guys all enjoy this book as much as I did, and if you've read it already, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below and we can talk about it. And that's going to be it for me today. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all next Friday. Bye!